Well, welcome everyone once again to Kaiserreich. It's a beautiful day, a new day for the stream. The first two parts have already been uploaded to YouTube. They weren't monetized because it turns out Kaiserreich Cinema has some copyrighted music, which I was hoping was not the case. A little bit sad about that, but what are you going to do? Wasn't really going to make that much money anyway, so it's not the biggest issue, and I don't want to mix up the music or figure out another mod between now and then, but the shit does kind of suck, not gonna lie. But here we are. So what happened last time? We were doing the urban-rural community to increase the king's political power, give us some more infrastructure. Not too bad overall, honestly. And then I think we might want to do mechanized farming. Let me see. Connecting with countryside, urban rural, connecting with countryside. I think restoring the grazing lands would be good, and then prosperity for all would be good. Now we can get the king's influence back in. Honestly, yeah. Try to min-max it the best we can. And let's get going, boys. Ooh. The King's Mistress, Magda Lupescu, has recently been targeted by the Legion-aligned papers across Romania in a rather obvious attempt to smear her name. The expose describes the Jewish whore as the power behind the throne, accusing her of manipulating Carol and subverting Codrianu's government, especially regarding his land reform program. The Jewish origins of her parents are emphasized to further demonize her in the eyes of an increasingly anti-Semitic public and place her as a centerpiece of an anti-Romanian conspiracy. The king is absolutely livid, to say the least, and the campaign could very well cause a split between him and the prime minister. Now, they better issue an apology right now. You know, I think your mic isn't properly plugged in. Oh no. That's not good. Is anyone having that issue on their end too? I'm not quite sure. If it is, I'll figure it out in between recording sessions. All I know is that for now, we just gotta keep going with it. In order to avoid a public dispute with King, Codriano agreed to his demands and publicly apologized for the Legion's attack on the King's Mistress. This is a clear victory for Carol, but the captain insists that his relations with His Majesty need to remain smooth for the time being. He has promised to make sure his offenders will be tried smoothly and punished and accordingly. So, let's see. No, this is beyond your little cult, buddy. Get the fuck out of here. There's a noticeable static. Oof. Not quite sure how to fit. Let me... I think that makes it worse. Alright, well, while the captain appears to be the all-powerful leader of the Iron Guard, there have been whispers among legionnaires about his submissive response to the Lupescu affair. While the Legion is highly disciplined, the cult of his personality centered around Codrianu is strong, the captain's recent actions have shaken the one's absolute confidence. Regardless, Codrianu is adamant that this was the right course of action, and the alliance of convenience with the king is still necessary. Let them bicker. We can go ahead. Let's do partial mobilization. University lecturer and rising star in the world of literary criticism, George Călinescu recently chose to experiment with a more conventional literary form, the novel, and recently his efforts come to fruition through the publication of his work, Enigma Otaliae. Described as a Balzacian novel, it's set in antebellum Romania, telling the tale of a young medicine student, Felix Sima. who moved in with his rich yet miserly uncle, Kotash Georgievemianu. Nailed that, I'm sure. There, he meets Otilia Marculescu, the man's stepdaughter, alongside his sister's family, the Toulets, and family friend Leonida Pascalopol. Felix gradually falls in love with Otilia, who unfortunately doesn't fully return the feelings, showing some preference for Pascalopol instead. All the while, in spite of loving his stepdaughter in his own way, Georgievianu is reticent to fully adopt her and make her a main beneficiary of his inheritance, resulting in a conflict where he has to deal with the Toulet family in their quest to seize control of his fortune, be it via inheritance or other means. After a surprising trip to Paris on Otilia's behalf, an affair with a courtesan on Felix's end, and the Toulet scheme to seize Kostash's fortune, the two youths meet each other again, but in spite of tension, do not take the final leap. Eventually, a Toulet kinsman managed to steal Georgievianu's wealth, who dies from a shock-induced heart attack, and Otilia ends up marrying Pascalopol and leaving for Paris again. After the war, Felix meets Pascalopol again, who reveals that he and Otilia got divorced, the latter remarrying and moving to Buenos Aires, becoming unrecognizable to her former admirer. Portraying a modernist look and taking to Belle Bucharest bourgeois, coupled with themes of paternity, coming of age, and unrequited love, it is surprising that selling surprisingly well. Reviews are positive, and critics foresee a brilliant future for Mr. Kalnescu. Oh god, that just sounds depressing. No one lives here. Guangzhou has fallen. There's a standoff in America. Uh-oh. Let's go ahead and do this. There's some... I don't need the instrumental. Give me a... Alright, so here goes with standoff. America's about to implode. New York City cut off from the rest. Oh, there goes Minnesota. Shit, New Mexico is swapped over. Got Iowa. This is gonna be a... Ooh! Okay, this is gonna be wild right here. I don't know if I ever, God, the Fed is not doing too hot. Got the urban-rural community. Okay, so we can do either mechanized farming or connect the countryside. Construction speed or recruitable population. Can't wait to see CSA wipe out everyone out for the millionth time. Yeah, same. Same. Let's connect the countryside. Not only are rural regions largely disconnected from urban areas, but they are also disconnected from other rural regions. Connecting the country will bring the people closer together, but this will require significant investment in infrastructure and construction in general. These investments, however, also drive the economy forward by creating numerous jobs. Alright, well, we'll see what ends up happening. There's this whole awkward little pocket here. So we got a couple days to get... The king's younger brother, Prince Nikolai, typically did not involve himself much in politics as his more bombastic brother, but lately rumors have begun to swirl around him. All this ordinarily would not be cause for concern for Carol. A fair few of these rumors have had him courting the legionary movement, be it from simply donating to giving them access to various properties he acquires. The feud between the two brothers started over Nikolai's romantic preferences. Having met Lady Ioana Doletti and having fallen in love, he decided to marry her, a wish his regal brother denied, while Nikolai felt was hypocritical as Carol himself had a mistress, which Carol defends himself, saying that he was not going to marry Lupescu and tarnish the honor of the royal house in the manner Nikolai would by marrying Doletti. deed he already has done in secret. It is said that Lupescu's dislike of Daleti, as well as Nicolai's dislike of the atmosphere around the King of Associates, also further complicates matters. A mole in the King's old household? You must keep an eye on him. I don't know. The PSA seems to be they're looking pretty good. Ooh. Serbia has invited us to send a diplomat to Belgrade to take part in the Belgrade Congress, so that we may discuss the political and military situation in the Balkans. Since the victory of Bulgaria in the Veltkrieg, we have had our eyes on land that's rightfully ours, as does Serbia. They suggest we form a new formal alliance called the Belgrade Pact to protect our mutual interests and contain the Bulgarian menace. This could, however, anger Bulgaria's former allies Germany, Austria, and the Ottoman Empire. We will announce our support for the Belgrade Pact. To contain the growing power of Austria and Bulgaria, Romania is acceded to the Belgrade Pact. Austria and Bulgaria watch with fears a powder keg grows close to exploding once again. Excellent. Greece has joined. Wonderful. Together against Bulgaria. Bulgaria more like bullshit-garia. Am I right? Hey. That's pretty good. Democracies prevail in the Philippines. Well, we'll see if Filipino independence prevails in the Philippines. The Albanian government has announced today that it will support Bulgaria in further conflicts between the Belgrade Pact and the Tsar and Bulgaria. It will be joining an international arms embargo to put a dent to a weapons stockpile in preparation for war. Germany. Oh. Well, that's horseshit. Conscription crisis in Quebec. Well, that's just horseshit. Under the decision of the Austrian Empire and its allies across Europe, we've been struck with an international arms embargo. Our borders are sealed from any imports of arms and ammunition. We'll have to deal with meager domestic production. Hence, we'll need to finish Bulgaria quickly. Well, how are we doing? Where's our logistics? Logistics. There it is. We have guns in excess, so I'm not too worried, actually. I think we might go ahead. Ease into transitioning into 20 minutes. So we'll see. Okay, the Ottomans. We'll do a few exercises on the border, getting trained back up. Oh shit. Are we... Okay, they've just issued an ultimatum, so let's stop exercising them. The Bulgarian government refused an ultimatum of Serbia to hand over all territories they seized from us and our allies during the Veltkrieg. For no other option, the Serbian government has declared war. So we're part of the Belgrade Pact, we need to come to their aid. They will face stiff Bulgarian resistance. Belgrade Pact will surely emerge victorious from this conflict. Onwards to victory. Okay, conscription I'm not too worried about. Who can we get? Armor, entrenchment, special forces. Let's go Ion Antonescu. Oh, shit. Jagrama! Thank you for the follow, my friend. Let's go, school psychology. What else do we got? Let's go, actually, Chief, get some decisive battle doctrines going. Georgi Mihail? Mihail, okay. Fourth Balkan War. Accept. Okay, let's slow down the speed. Cross the Danube has been bypassed. We gotta conquer here. What, 60 days? We'll get some bonuses if that happens. Okay. Shit, so much for that working out. Let's ease off on, let's get our organization back. We might lose this province over here, but that actually is gonna help dislodge these guys, so that's not the worst. In fact, I spy with my little eye. Actually, there's a port there, so that's not gonna do too much. We could exploit the rivers. Let's compromise with the guard. Let's give some loans for small farmers. As the Legion considers the peasants to be central Romanian nation, it's only natural that we truly reflect our beliefs by economically supporting the small farmers. Loans in rural areas, which make up the majority of the country, should be affordable in order to help grow the economy and improve conditions. Oh yeah, it's a great, I agree. It's a banger of a song. Oh, hold on. Air wings. Try to contest. There we go. We got green air. We'll attack. Try to pin these guys down the best we can. Little swoopy whoopy. There we go. King's Day. This guy's encircled, which isn't the best, but we could probably get him out sooner rather than later. Come on, Second International, that's nice. There we go. Beautiful. We got at least one guy encircled. Move over here. If we can take this guy out, that's the big thing. We're holding here. You save your orc, buddy. You save your orc. What are they? Oh, yeah, they gotta move. Guy moving out of there. There we go. Very nice. Oh, Cindy Revolution in Switzerland. That's interesting. And then Patagonia. This is a little bit... It's a bit too good of a game for Cindy's, for comfort. Let's see, we got it. We got that done. Anything else we can do? We can do a war economy. We'll do that. We're still gonna lose. Third International never wins. Knock on wood, buddy. Knock on wood. Prince Alexandru Catancuzino, rising star of a legionary movement, de facto an electoral leader of its more radical causes, has further cemented his status as a leading legionary figure via the release of his new book, Entre Lumea Legionera se Lumina Syndicalista, between the legionary world and the syndicalist world. building upon his speeches at past student congresses like the Romano de Maine, the Romania of tomorrow. He also compares the varying ideological systems of totalism, Kemalism, Savinkovism, the Volkish movement, and the Balban national populism, as well as discussion Dostoevsky, Berdyaev, Bares, and Jaurès. While he does acknowledge some similarities between the goals of syndicalism and the legionary movement, namely rejecting the 19th century's liberal traditions, abolishing social injustice, bank feudalism, privileges, and capital speculations, he also sharply differentiates the movement from the syndicalists in that they are considered worshippers of Marx, Proudhon, and Puget, builders of a second Tower of Babel who try to replace Christianity with atheism. Cantacuzino also considers that syndicalists are inhumane, annihilating the individual's personality and considering him as means to an end, while legionarism instead cares for their fellow peers and their physical and spiritual health, while also nurturing them and preparing the nation to, quote, stand at the borders of Romanianism, ready to defend and elevate the creation of a Romanian genius to the death, an eternal revolution against a mechanical society. The volume has proven to be a success among the movement, giving further influence and intellectual backing to its radical caucus, with its emphasis on Palingenetic rhetoric in the detriment of a mysticist element, having further solidified Cantacuzino's standing as a legionary theorist and widened the intellectual horizon of the movement. The Green Prince widens his gasp. Let's move one of these guys over there. Get a little extra. Okay, they move into Macedonia. They've lost Thessaloniki over here. Well, Kodrian is a prime minister with a comfortable majority in the Chamber of Deputies. He's by no means a monopoly of parliamentary activities. While Kodrian tightens with censorship, unleashing his green shirts against any threat to his rule, the king seemingly turns a blind eye to his prime minister's abuses, gathering up opposition politicians have publicly criticized the Kodrian government's disregard for the constitution. The demonstration remains relatively small as the Iron Curtain keeps an eye on it. Iron Guard keeps an eye on it, waiting for orders to disperse him. And they do have a point. Yellow Rose of Texas is the only girl for me. Hey! Hey! Yeah, take this guy over. Beautiful. And you guys fill that little pocket. You move into Varna. The Dutch elections, we'll see what happens there. Actually, I should have probably read the news event. Social liberals, so they're staying democratic, it seems. Let's get more artillery. God knows we probably need it. Wait, no. There you go. How are the casualties going? Greece is not doing too hot. I'm guessing they had some troops over in Thessaloniki, and they lost them. But Bulgaria, we are kicking their ass. We're doing pretty good. Other than Greece dragging things down, which, from my understanding, not too atypical of the Greeks to be dragging things down. There we go. Take these guys out. Let's see. Yeah, if you want to try to attack into that, you go ahead, buddy. But that just made it easier on us. And look at that, boys. Oh. fall of Boston. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck's gonna win here. It's a bit of a dumpster fire. What do we want over here? I already got doctrines. I guess excavation 1. Get a bit more resources than what we already have, and then we'll go a little at a time on this. Loans for small farmers. I believe, can we do... Do we not have a... Okay, it's a equilibrium of power right now. Okay, so we can exploit the rivers, then restore the grazing lands, then get prosperity for all. We'll exploit the rivers then. Oberkommando South Africa just won the second South African Civil War. I've never seen this before. This, you know, who are they again? I'm trying to think who they are. Romania's many rivers provide endless opportunities for growth and development from the improved transportation and hydroelectricity. While this will require significant investments from the state, the long-term benefits will be immense. Okay, they're moving in to take this part of Macedonia. They'll probably take... They're not going to take Lorraine, never mind. Well, what the fuck are they doing? Okay, they have German volunteers. That's a little spooky. You're also, doing okay with the Ottomans. The Ottomans seem to be doing alright, all things considered. I'm actually not quite sure. The Legion of Archangel Michael prides itself on the mass rallies. Okay, I think we've already... Yeah, let's forbid their little meeting. Icelandic independence. Interesting. And let these guys push in. See if I'm worried. The Boers. Yeah, I don't think that usually... I actually don't know if that's the most likely outcome or not. Let's get working on this too. Yeah, it's kind of freaking out. They don't know whether to commit or not. If I was them, I wouldn't. We'll get the cavalry boy to assist. I think what we're going to try to do is we'll get an encirclement on these guys. Peru versus Ecuador. I have faith that these guys can hold in Varna. Those are Austrians. Okay, they're not going to hold in Varna. Although, we could just do a mass offensive right now. That's not quite going to do anything. think we'll retreat you. Spend most of these. This is doing okay. Bulgarian tanks, I guess, aren't. You fall back, soldier. No, 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 you fall back, goddammit. Stop trying to fill that there we go.